A man's home is his castle. Nothing safer than bricks and mortar. Rubbish. I'm going to show you why renting is a good financial decision. Most people think buying a house is the path to wealth. It's not. If you rent instead and invest the difference, you'll have more money in 10 years than someone who bought a lot more. Let me show you the math. Let's say you're 25. You've got a choice. Option A, save a deposit, buy a house, lock your money into bricks and mortar. Option B, rent. Keep your money liquid, invest the difference. Sounds crazy, right? But here's why it works. When you buy, your deposit is gone. 20,000, 30,000, sometimes more. That money is now stuck in your house. It's not earning anything except the equity that builds slowly over decades through mortgage payments. You're also paying interest on the mortgage, property tax, maintenance, insurance. That's hundreds a month beyond the actual mortgage payment that renting doesn't touch. When you rent, you pay one number. That's it. No surprises, no maintenance bills when the boiler breaks, no property tax. And because rent is usually cheaper than a full mortgage payment with all the hidden costs, you've got money left over every single month. Money you can invest. Let's use real numbers. Say you're in a city where a decent 2-bedroom house costs 400,000 quid. To buy it, you need a 20% deposit, £80,000. You've probably been saving for years to scrape that together. The mortgage on the remaining 320,000 at current rates is roughly 1,500 a month. Then add property tax, maybe 150 a month, insurance, another 50, maintenance reserve, let's say 100 a month because stuff breaks. That's 1,700 a month total. Now, the same 2-bedroom in the same area rents for about 1,200 a month. No surprises, no maintenance, no property tax. So the difference is £500 a month. Every single month, the buyer is spending an extra 500 quid compared to the renter, plus they've got 80 grand locked up in a deposit that could have been invested instead. What if the renter takes that £500 a month and invests it? Not in some dodgy scheme, just a basic index fund earning an average of 7% a year, which is historically realistic for the stock market over long periods. After 10 years, that 500 a month invested at 7% becomes £92,000. But wait, the buyer also has 80,000 in-house equity from their deposit, plus a decade of mortgage payments building value. Let's say the house appreciated at 3% a year, a conservative estimate. After 10 years, that £400,000 house is worth 530,000. They've paid down maybe 40,000 of the mortgage principal, so they've got 120,000 in total equity, the deposit plus the principal repayment plus appreciation. On paper, the buyer has 120,000 in assets. The renter has 92,000 in investments. The buyer looks ahead. But here's the part people miss. The buyer is still paying 1,700 a month in mortgage and costs. They've got money tied up. They can't access it easily. And if they need cash, they're taking out a second mortgage or going into debt. The renter has 92,000 sitting in an investment account they can actually use. They've got flexibility. And if rates stay the same and the renter keeps investing, after another 10 years, 20 total, that investment pot grows to 317,000. The house, appreciating at 3%, is now worth 713,000. The buyer has paid down another 40,000 of the mortgage, so they've got 160,000 in equity. But the buyer is now 45, still paying a mortgage for another 15 years, and most of their wealth is locked in a house they can't easily liquidate. The renter is 45 with 300,000 in liquid investments and zero mortgage debt. Now, this assumes a few things. The renter actually invests the money instead of spending it. The house doesn't appreciate faster than historical average. Interest rates don't drop dramatically, and the renter doesn't panic sell during a market downturn. But here's what it proves. Buying isn't automatically the path to wealth. It's one path, and it ties up your money for decades. Renting and investing is another path, and it gives you flexibility, liquidity, and potentially more wealth at the end of it. There's also a psychological thing. Buying feels like an investment because you own something. Renting feels like throwing money away. But rent is an investment too. It's just invested in your flexibility and your investment portfolio instead of a property. And flexibility has value. So if you're in your 20s or 30s, sitting on a deposit and wondering if you should buy, do the math for your area. Plug in your actual numbers. You might find out that renting and investing gets you further than you thought. And that's worth knowing before you lock 80 grand into a house for the next 30 years. Subscribe if you want more videos that challenge the financial decisions everyone tells you are obvious, because some of the best money moves are the ones nobody's talking about.